So I've had a few students come in and ask about essay writing for to get into college, like college admittance essays and scholarship essays. So I thought I would do a video just really quickly to give you what my general advice would be. First of all, um, I know a lot of you feel more comfortable with me because you know me better than you might know your guidance counselor, but your guidance counselor really is trained to help you in these matters more than I am. So while I have absolutely no problem doing this with you or helping you, you should keep in mind that your guidance counselor might be a really good resource too. So, two tips as far as the essays go. Um, the first tip is, and this is the most important tip I think that I could give you. When you write these personal essays, you have to write them in a way that only you could write them. So you have to be very specific, and you should try to write a narrative with lots of description in it so that you would be the only person that could tell that story. Let me give you an example. How many athletes are going to apply to get into IU? And if you were asked to write about a struggle that maybe you had as an athlete, um, think about if you wrote about that generally. There would be hundreds of people across the nation that could write that essay. But if you talk about that soccer game when you were a junior against Rensselaer in the sectionals, right? And you overcame some obstacle and you get very specific about the obstacle, then you become the only person that could write that essay, no matter how many athletes there might be, or if you were in the band. You just have to be very specific. And a lot of students, I would say 9 out of 10 students, when they bring me these essays, they bring me essays that define, and that's not going to do the trick. You need an essay that describes and that narrates. So, what I mean is, if the essay is about an obstacle, you oftentimes will give me an essay that tells me what an obstacle is, but you don't specifically tell me the obstacle that you overcame. And if it's like my dad lost his job, or my grandma passed away, or like, those are good examples, but it's just the beginning. I need to know where your dad uh, lost his job from, how it impacted your life, how you overcame that obstacle. You got to get very specific. The second tip that I would give you on these is to write them all in a Pages doc or on a Google Doc, and keep them. And I would write one paragraph answers for various questions, because most likely you'll be able to use those over and over again. So it'll be a lot of work up front, but then on the back end you'll have it done. And even though you're applying to go to college right now and maybe a couple scholarships, scholarship season is going to really start in March and April, and that's when you'll be redoing all of these essays again. So if you save them and get them out of the way, it'll save you some time later. I went on the PrincetonReview.com, and I looked up what the most common essay questions were to get into school. Share your story, learn from obstacles, challenge a belief, solve a problem, personal growth, what captivates you, topic of your choice, describe a person you admire, why do you want to attend that school, what is a book you love, what is an extracurricular activity that's impacted you. Yeah. So again, like be specific, but save. I would just write like one paragraph on each of those, save them, and then you'll have them for whatever school or whatever scholarship you end up applying for. Okay.